Hey there, Gemini fam. How you be? I have a question for you when it comes to this month, July of 2025. Can you explain to me why someone is enabling me, enabling me to see cards like the Five of Swords? And so when I see it, the first thing I think of is honoring how far you've come, right? Maybe there were things that you did in the past that you're not proud of, that you just simply wouldn't do, ways you would not react anymore, right? But instead, what I'm feeling is, God, that was a lot of crap. So it kind of feels like there's still something lingering for you. So let's see what else. Let's see what the heck this means for July of 2025, shall we? Okie dokie fam, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the deck into 3 and pull the middle to the top. We're beginning with the 7 of freaking cups. Okay. These can be daydreams. These can be concerns of illusions. Or you just have a lot of options and you have no idea what the heck, right? Because this person being in black, like it just being what, their silhouette or whatever the heck, is really standing out to me. Like, I don't even know. Like, I could do all of that to be, like, there's so much time in the day. Like, I don't know. What do I focus on? Whatever the frick you want, dude. Like, you know what I mean? What is it? It's almost like there's a little dash of, I don't want to do what I've been doing. There's that want, but also for maybe some need for change. And maybe you're feeling that pull to what you know because it's at a point where it just feels natural, but like it's not fulfilling you the same. There's something else that is wanting your attention, right? But there's concern of, well, like maybe it's a hobby or something. But I feel like people have, like, you've already received positive feedback. There's something about it. Maybe not it specifically, because if you've kept it private and just personal, but there's something. There's something like some kind of, you know it could actually really work out, but you just are a little nervous. What's going on with chapter 2 in this story? Because you've been put over, right? This could be you. Are you doing some shady shit? What are you doing? Okay. To me, just like with the 5 of Swords, what I see is someone, because they're leaving those back there, right? And the swords are the mind. So to me, because it's broad daylight, I don't care if this is known as the thief of the freaking tarot. This person is doing this in broad daylight and they're happy about it. You know what I mean? What are they hiding? So maybe there's shady shit going on. Maybe you're just trying to be strategic about things. You know the lay of the land now, right? I think this person has learned a lot. And they're taking the wisdom. They're taking what matters at this point, and they're moving on. It's like, you can keep your negativity, you can keep your toxicity, you can keep your strings that you keep trying to attach to everything, to yourself. Bye. You know what I mean? That's more so what I tend to feel from that. But I feel like these 2 sevens came up together for reasons, right? Because they're connected. Like, you don't want to deal with that kind of crap anymore. But maybe there's just that kind of crap. Like, this is the hashtag life. Does it have to be, though? Does it really have to be? Chapter 3 is the Knight of Pentacles. It's taking you some time. It's taking some time, my friend. The Knight of Pentacles and Cups, I feel like they get sent out on their mission, right? But then they get to a certain point and then they wait, because you have to come to them. You gotta do your own part in this particular mission, my friend, right? This is the slowest night of the tarot. This could be like a year, at least. So the question is this something that has been brewing? Or is this something that's, you know, this is a new, like, okay, boom, a year from now. Let's see, because they're looking toward what's only going to be one more card in this row. This has been brewing, friend. I know I'm smiling even though this is a painful card, but that's because I'm so happy for you. Because if you're returning, what do I always say about this card? Here comes the sun. Do, 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 do. Right? The problem that I have with this card, though, with that dark night of the soul that the sun is chasing the fuck away, is at least one of these swords, at least one, Gemini, you wildin' sometimes, at least one of these swords is self-inflicted. But I talk about it a lot with the 8 and 9, so I'm going to talk about it with the 10 too. I feel like some of us are just simply well-trained. So that when that person, whoever those people are who... Kitty, the cats are playing around a barely open door, but they're on either side of the door. This is very distracting and the perfect freaking sign to do this with. Of course, there's 2 cats. But we're not going to get distracted because seriously, it's like we are so well trained that when nobody else is around, we're doing it to ourselves, whether they're around or not, right? That's the end of a painful cycle. This has been at least a year. There's something very particular about this past year for you. Like maybe there was a bit of buffer time or something. Buffer time is what's coming to mind. But now in July, if it hasn't already, depending on who this is for, cycle complete. All right. Now we're going to do the second row of 4. So what's coming up underneath the 7 of Cups? The 6 of Pentacles. See, that's the thing may you never lose sight of ever again. You like balance, right? I have a lot of Libra in my chart personally, and that's air. And when I first did my chart a while ago, I kind of laughed at how much Libra was in my chart. I was like, yep, balance. Fair's fair. And my Geminis know exactly what I'm talking about too. This person, it's not only fair's fair. There's not only generosity happening here. There's equality being represented by those scales, right? It's not give and take. It's give and receive. And that flow. And that is the kind of shit that is just simply a part of your nature. Please don't lose sight of that again, because anybody trying to paint you in a different light, trying to gaslight you, they don't get to run the show. They don't get to do that. No. You would give the shirt off of your back, whoever I'm talking to. Nobody gets to diminish that, okay? So you just follow your intuition. You gotta, like this mental stuff that's going on. I still like, there's still this, whoa, what's going on with the ringing in my ears? I'm still feeling very strong intuition, but it's, for lack of better words, I'm sorry for using this word, damaged. It's like you drank poison for a minute. You thought it was absinthe and you were going to enjoy yourself for a minute, but no. What's underneath the 7 of Swords, fam? The Knight of Swords. Oh. Interesting, Gemini. You and your yin and yang silliness. You have both the fastest and the slowest freaking knights in this reading. Not paired together. But it's underneath the 7 of Swords. I feel like that's speaking of the mental clarity, the intuition. We don't see that whole sword, right? So it's like going up into the sky, into the heavens, into the universe, however that resonates with you, right? In your open mind or lack thereof. I don't know. Who am I talking to right now? Fair? But this, knights are sent out on that mission. This feels like enough bullshit. This feels like someone who has been putting up with a lot over the years and is like, you know what? If I can't trust you, you're out. Like, you can play nice at a party or a dinner or whatever the heck when you're around people you don't necessarily like because you know you can't trust them. Like, you have figured that shit out. If you can't trust them, they're out. What's coming up underneath that Knight of Pentacles right next to the Knight of Swords? I kind of feel like the Knight of Swords is heading toward the Six of Pentacles, so it's the Emperor that sent that buddy out. I've been talking a lot recently about how I feel like the Emperor, people forget that the Emperor and the Empress are the same coin, right? So while the Empress is just sitting there and like just gravity, you know what I mean? Just drawing things to her and loving everyone, just loving life and loving the earth and all this good shit. Let's go. I got so many ideas I want to share with you. You know what I mean? With that Venus energy. But on the other side of the same coin is the Emperor. The Emperor can handle it. Came up in the earth signs, and I pointed out he's not holding a sword, he's holding that like gonzo type scepter, right? He knows he's the type of leader who has people who can handle things he doesn't fucking want to do anymore. He doesn't have to do it, he can delegate, right? He has employees or whatever, people he can actually rely on to do that shit while he vibes. And does the stuff that he wants to focus on, that he wants to get his hands dirty and do himself, right? But, I mean, he's wearing the armor, but he still looks cozy. He still looks very cozy. He still has that passion, that fiery, thriving passion, right? So you're darn right he sent somebody out for some truth. Right? But I feel like that's because he's coming up underneath the Knight of Pentacles, right? So I feel like something happened for you, whomever this is for, that kind of took the wind out of your sails for a bit, right? That kind of had you just like, I don't even know what to do, man. I'm kind of in the dark. There's a lot of bull crap going on, and I don't know how this is going to work out, but I know I'm going to freaking make it out the other side. I like that the Emperor is the one card that came out. There's someone in particular, also a Gemini, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Who didn't include his face in the drawing of the Emperor. And I was like, what does it mean? Because the things that are being said about it, I'm just like, what? What are you talking about? I don't know you, but this kind of tells me I don't know you. Because what are you talking about? Gemini, you are silly sometimes, okay? I need you to stop being so fucking self-deprecating. All right? Stop that. It was done to you. You weren't born like that. That shit was done to you. It's been like poison dipping into your brain, someone. And you don't freaking deserve that crap, okay? Truth. What's coming up underneath that Ten of Swords, though? Sorry, I got a bit, but like I called it slipping into Doberman mode. Dobermans really love their people, their family, and they will put themselves in the line of danger anytime. Gemini. Underneath, what did I say about your intuition? Underneath the Ten of Swords is the High Priestess. You know, underneath it all, the muck and the mire, you know that, oh, whoa, if you're a dude, if you're a guy, that's the kind of shit you need. Whoever she is, whoever they are, whatever you're, you know, that's the kind of shit that will help balance you. You don't need an Empress. You need a High Priestess. You need someone who can handle whatever the heck is going on, right? Who can just vibe with you, who understands you, who can match that shit with you, right? In your life at this point. Because your intuition, the things that you've come to realize throughout your healing process is putting you also on par with them. You guys are going to have that meeting of the mind. Maybe it's romance, maybe it's not. To be fair, maybe it's not. But this is someone that is going to see you and understand you. You will not have to explain yourself to them. And they're part of this new beginning. And you're going to have that clarity and intuition, because the high priestess aren't these two towers like the frickin' Solomon's temple? I can never remember what the other one is, but one of them is basically like, it's truth, right? Is it truth and knowledge? This is embarrassing because it really wasn't that long ago that something I was reading touched on this shit. So what the hell, Amy? Oh, brains, memories, whatever. Anyway, moving on. Wow. The two major arcana. Boom, boom. The Emperor and the High Priestess. But something else that has been going on recently for a lot of us is that balance. That balancing act, being able to even out within us. So it could be that as well for someone. It's not just the divine masculine, it's the divine feminine thriving within you up into that singularity. And that's the new chapter. That's what you're stepping into. It may not be fully realized this month because we do have that 10 of Swords, but this has been a long time coming. There are things that have been being worked on and working toward for a long freaking time that are coming to fruition, okay? Guess what the final card is? Guess what's on the caboose? Feel free to put that in the comments, whatever. Keep it to yourself, whatever. It doesn't change my life at all. The freaking Hierophant. Fam, what did I say? You know. You know. Not a little for a little bit there, but you know. You fucking know, dude. You got this. The thing about you is you know more. You know a lot freaking more than you let on. And there are people in this world who eat it up. It's like, on the one thing I want to say, please write an autobiography or a memoir or something. Please get this out there for people to consume, right? But at the same time, I kind of don't want to put that on anyone. That's a lot. Looking at these all together. So we have cards like this, right? Oh, wait, you know what? I feel like over here in this corner, with the 10 of Swords and the Emperor and the High Priestess and Hierophant. So we have the Emperor, right? With those reds and golds and stuff, which are also kind of here. But you notice what's happening with cards like this? It's almost kind of like the 10 of Swords, where you have the outfit that this person's wearing, right? But then you also have that dark night of the soul. But you also have that golden dawn and the blue of the water. Damn. What is going on? Okay. All right. Moving on. Sorry if that was really loud for anyone. Trust your intuition. This is such a dang general theme. Hashtag life, am I right? Trust your intuition. When you are true to yourself, it never leads you astray as far as your life and you being able to be happy and have your joy and your family and all the things and the flow and all that good shit. Just trust yourself. There is someone possibly coming into your life this month. Maybe there's someone like you already know who they are, but you haven't reached out just yet. Tap, because of the you're wary, not weary, wary. That's so funny. I was just saying earlier that, like, you know, Geminis, when I think back about life and the besties and stuff that I've had in life, they've had a tendency to be Geminis, especially Chicky Mamas. Dudes and I feel like I just trip them out. Because it's like, how are we finishing each other's sentences? What is this? Like, I'm too good to be true or something, you know? You know? But that's what I was saying. It's like they're wary of me or something. Because it's like, who are you? And that's how they kind of... I may or may never see that person again. You know what I mean? Whereas Chicky Mom is like, dude, we're sisters now. This is for life. I just recently got the Moonology deck, which I've been wanting for a while. I've returning to tarot. I wanted to spend some time with it, you know what I mean, before I started getting all the decks. Now it's all bets are off, okay? Let's go. We have 2 cards here, Gemini. We have New Moon in Pisces, meditate and contemplate. So pretty. I love this deck. And then we have the full moon, which we're halfway there, fam. Surrender to the divine. Little. No, but really. No, but really. Listen, you're still trying to do this physical shit. You're still trying to do, you know what I mean? You know there's more. You know there's more. You already know. You know there's more. Okay, now since it's a new deck, no, I don't know shit, all right? So I'm going to bust out the book. On the bottom, we do have Full Moon in Aquarius. Show the world the real you. I feel like that takes us back to this shit, right? There's something different that you want to do. You know? So anyway. New Moon in Pisces. This card speaks of dreams and romance, of soulmates and poetry. What I say, fam? Balance out. Because there's so much fire going on with that Aries energy of the Emperor, right? You need that yin, or the yang. Fair enough to your yin. Damn. It's suggested there's a new start coming your way that's connected to a matter that leaves you feeling somewhere between having your head in the clouds and being in a totally altered state. There could be confusion and disappointment if that's what you had before and that's what you're expecting. However, because this is the end of that 10 of Swords, okay? Where was I? Yeah. However, if you're onto a good thing, then wish hard, because the words of your soul and your heart could help bring about the manifestation of your dreams. If all that sounds a little wet and watery, then that's Pisces for you. Yasmin, please. All right. This is the last sign of the zodiac. Yes, we know. And the New Moon in Pisces card can suggest a last-ditch chance to make your dreams come true. Are you a bit older? Tune to the moon. Use your feelings to guide the way. Logic won't work now. But that tie brings us again right back to that 7 of Cups. So additional meanings for this card. Face your fears. They may be holding you back. They have in the past. The situation is being healed. It's time to surrender to the divine and avoid being deceptive or willingly deceived. Remember, this card came up with the Knight of Swords underneath. Boosh. Boosh. Wow. Oh no, I just lost it. No. It was a little bit more shit. All right. Didn't happen. Can't prove it. All right, moving on. So the teaching. Pisces is the sign of reveries and mysteries, or depths of emotion, idealism, and hopeless romantics. It is the sign of water and the unconscious. You already know it's there. You know it's right there. I'm looking at it. The new moon in Pisces indicates a time to listen to your feelings and to allow your emotions free rain. Whatever you're feeling as you pull this card is more likely than the truth. Unless you've been kidding yourself somehow, and only you know if that's the case or not. Gemini, what's up? Okay, moving on to the full moon, surrender to the divine. There's a word in here I'm not sure if YouTube is going to allow. The very word climax brings all sorts of ideas and images to mind. Agreed? It actually says it in here. Agreed? But it really is the feeling of this card. Life coming to a head, a point, a conclusion, or a turning point. There may be some kind of change and possibly even some sort of emotional explosion. Tune into your emotions now and see what they're telling you. They're very likely close to the surface, no matter when in the moon cycle you've pulled this card. Matters will soon conclude. And you'll find out whether or not your wishes are going to come true. The odds are in your favor. That is such a vibe lately. The general reading I did before hopping back into the monthlies with astrology, that it's in the freaking thumbnail. That is such a vibe that keeps coming up. But you may need to work a little harder than usual to keep cool as events unfold. We're not working harder, we're working smarter. Where did you think I was going with that? Come on. All right. Attuned to the moon, I am getting the answers I need is that affirmation. Additional meanings for this card. A wish you made may be about to come true. You know, reading, it's make or break time. There could be a sense of madness in the air. Breathe deep and stay calm. Unless you revel in it, I don't know what to say. You may need to forgive someone to release negative energy. Listen, there is a big difference between forgiveness of what someone did, cat hair, and acceptance that happened and it's in your past. Just throwing that out there. All right. It's time to let go of the past and move on. Thank you, Yasmin. That's what I'm talking about. So the full moon marks the climax of the lunar cycle, making this card something of a power card. The full moon is often the time when answers are given to questions asked during the new moon, and pulling this card at any time in the lunar cycle suggests answers will be coming your way before too long. This is a matter of like a day, maybe even an hour, maybe 2 days. It's soon. It's coming in hot. So I feel like why cat hair, please. I feel like they confirmed what I was saying. That not only have you had to deal with some crap, but there's a lot of change coming in. There's a new cycle coming in. And maybe for someone who's going to help balance things out for you. Okay? Either way, there's some truth and clarity that's about to hit. And remember, these messages can come in all kinds of ways. I'm not going to go out here and be like, it was me. I said it. I'm not a dictator. I'm too non-dictator-like. I'm just going to tell you what cards are showing up, okay, fam? And you you know how that resonates with you. You know what's going on. It's probably none of my business. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. So, yeah, let me know how that feels, all right? Thank you so much for your time and energy and keeping me company. I really appreciate it, Gemini Fam. Always and forever. Always remember, I believe in you. Fuck those other people.